Why are some stars brighter than others? Hi, welcome to Curious Kids Every Day. I'm Josh. How are you doing today? It's so good to hear from you. Hey, do you like looking out at the stars in the night sky? Have you ever noticed that some nights it's harder to see the stars than on other nights? When you live near the city and have a lot of light pollution, it can make it hard to see the stars, unless it's a really, really clear night. If I'm ever out further away from the city when it's nighttime, I always make sure to look up in the sky and notice all the stars up there. When you're out in the country, you can see even the dimmer stars, the ones that aren't as bright. I always love being able to see those. But that got me thinking about a question that I have. And I got the same question from a couple of curious kids named Olivia and Colton. They asked, why are some stars and planets brighter than others? When you look up at the night sky, the brightness you see is called apparent brightness. That just means how bright something looks from where you are standing. There are a few reasons one thing looks brighter than another. First is the distance. A light that's closer to you looks brighter. Think about a flashlight. If a friend points a flashlight at you from across the room, well, that flashlight is going to look bright. But if they walk far away outside and point that same flashlight at you from, down the road, is it going to look brighter or dimmer? Yeah, a lot dimmer. The brightness of the flashlight didn't change, but the apparent brightness did. And that's because of how far you are from the light source. Stars are like that too. Some stars look bright mostly because they are closer to Earth than other stars, which leads right into the next reason that some stars are brighter than others, because it's also important how much light a star makes. Stars are huge balls of hot gas that give off light. And some stars give off a lot more light than others. The word for how much light a star gives off is luminosity. Can you say luminosity? A star with high luminosity can look bright even if it's far away. A star with lower luminosity might look dim even if it's closer. So here's how you can think about it. A star can look bright because it's close, but a star can also look bright because it's powerful, which means it has high luminosity. But some stars can be both. They can be close to us and have high luminosity. Those are the really bright stars we see in the sky. The next thing to think about is what the light has to travel through. See, before starlight reaches your eyes, it passes through Earth's atmosphere, which is the blanket of air around our planet. It's what makes it possible for us to live here on Earth. Air is usually pretty clear, but not always. Can you think of anything that could make the sky less clear? How about clouds, or haze, or smoke, or dust, or even extra moisture in the air? It can scatter light and make stars look dimmer. This is one reason some nights have a great star view and some nights don't. Now, I talked about this next one at the start because another thing that can affect the brightness of stars is the bright light that's already near you, as in city lights. If you're like me and you live pretty close to the city, all that light, that man-made light, can make the sky glow. Can you believe that? Our lights down here are so bright that it can actually light up the sky at night. That's why when you go out into the country, it just seems so much darker out there. Those city lights glowing can make it harder for your eyes to notice faint points of light in the sky. This is what we call light pollution. The stars are not changing, but what our eyes can pick out, that does change. Now, if you like to look up in the sky and note the different stars you see up there, you've probably noticed that you can see planets too sometimes. But here's what's different about planets. Planets do not make their own light the way that stars do. Planets look bright because they reflect the light from the sun. The light from the sun bounces off of them and then into our eyes. Isn't that wild? Sunlight travels millions of miles to a planet, bounces off that planet, and then travels millions, hundreds of millions of miles straight into your eyes. A planet can look brighter when it's closer to Earth, or when it's reflecting a lot of sunlight. For example, Venus is often very bright in the night sky because it can be relatively close to Earth and it has thick clouds that reflect lots of sunlight. So when you see something extra bright in the sky, you can ask yourself, is it closer to us? Is it just giving off more light? Is the air clearer tonight? Or is it just reflecting sunlight really well? All of these things factor into what we can see when we look up at that beautiful, beautiful night sky. Okay, let's have a quick quiz. If two stars make the same amount of light, which one looks brighter to you? It would be the one that is closer. And what do we call how bright something looks to us from Earth? Remember we gave that kind of brightness a name? It's called apparent brightness. And when I say apparent brightness, I don't mean like your parents. It's not a parent brightness, it's apparent brightness. Like, apparently, it's called apparent brightness. All right, what do we call how much light a star makes? Luminosity. And what do we call extra city lights that make the sky glow and hide dim stars? We call it light pollution. Let's play true or false. True or false? Planets make their own light like stars do. Nope, that's false. Planets reflect the light from the sun. True or false? Clouds and haze can make stars look dimmer. Yep, that's true. On cloudy nights, it's very difficult to see the stars. True or false? A star that is far away can still look bright if it has high luminosity. Yep, that is true. True or false? Light pollution changes the stars themselves. Nope, that's false, but it does change the way we see them. Okay, I've got an interesting would you rather for you today. Would you rather watch the stars from a beautiful farm way out in the country or through a huge telescope so you could see them up close? I would love to see the stars through a huge telescope, but if I had to pick just one and I couldn't do the other, then I would definitely watch them from a beautiful farm out in the country. If you've ever gone out into the country, like drove really far into the country and gotten out of the car and just looked at the night sky where it's just pitch black dark, man, the stars just look beautiful. All right, let's play What Am I? What am I? I help your eyes collect more light. I can make faraway space objects look bigger and clearer. And you might set me up on a tripod and point me at the sky. What am I? I am a telescope. All right, here's one more. What am I? I'm not a star, but I can look very bright in the sky. I shine because I reflect sunlight, and I'm a specific planet with thick clouds that reflect lots of light. What am I? I am the planet Venus. If you like to star watch the way that my family does, then you know how much you can see Venus up in the night sky. It is amazing. Don't you just love thinking about the stars and the planets up in the sky? I am always in awe of how amazing they are. We'll probably never visit those stars or those planets, but they're still up there, and we can see them. I think it's a reminder that as big as everything feels down here on Earth, we are so small when you think about how big the universe is. Pretty cool. What kind of question do you think we'll ask tomorrow on Curious Kids Every Day? I can't wait to find out. So until then, keep asking questions and stay curious, kids. And we've got a few birthdays today. Today is Finian's birthday. Finian is from New York, and Finian is turning 5. Happy birthday, Finian. Emery is from California, and Emery is turning 4. Happy birthday, Emery. Garrett is from Illinois, and Garrett is turning 5. Happy birthday, Garrett. Archer is from Maryland, and Archer is turning 4. Happy birthday, Archer. Max is from Canada, and Max is turning 10. Happy birthday, Max. Vernon Lee is from Texas, and Vernon Lee turned 4 this week. Happy birthday, Vernon Lee. Mads is from Texas, and Mads is turning 4. Happy birthday, Mads. Adrian is from Idaho, and Adrian is turning 9. Happy birthday, Adrian. To all the grown-ups listening, if your curious kids want their birthdays mentioned on the show, please visit supportcuriouskids.com and join the Curious Kids Club. That's supportcuriouskids.com. See you tomorrow.